What a show. What a show, everybody. Welcome to the official live reaction of Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle. Man, what a day. Dreadhead Kev's already in the house. What's going on? I'll give you guys a second to log in here. Let's talk some professional wrestling because that's what we do on Saturdays. Isn't that right, Xavier? Dreadhead Kev, he's ready for tomorrow. Oh, yeah, I'm ready for tomorrow. Check this out. Let me put it on. Got my superstar face mask. So all the VIP tickets tomorrow are going to get this exclusive custom-made superstar Dundee mask. Also, there are some T-shirts. We'll talk about here in a minute. What's up, Bo? Aloha. Rabbite, I think I said that right. He said, good show. Thank you. What's up, everybody? What a show. So I know last week we had such a chaotic show that there were two of our feature matches that didn't have conclusions, that didn't have finishes. So this week we had two big rematches, and not only did we have some finishes, but man, they were spectacular. The live chat was incredible. Thank you guys. Danny Limelight Rivera was in action, and he was also in the live chat. Will All Damn Day, the main event. Did I get it right? Just making sure. He was in the house. The voice of Championship Wrestling, Todd Kinley, was there. The boss man, David Marquez, was in the house. Jose Santiago, who we're going to see in action here in the coming weeks. He's going to be back in action too. Man, what a show. What did you guys think? And I'll go through the chat here and respond and answer your questions. Dreadhead, I did not get the PS5. Xavier, I want Will All Day to win the Heritage title. You know, I'm got a little history with Ray Rosas, so anybody but Ray Rosas, but especially Will All Day, who, by the way, is going to join me for a special interview on the Championship Wrestling podcast presented by Be Free CBD on Monday at noon. So if you go to playlists, you'll see podcast presented by Be Free CBD. That's where it'll be, and it will be on Premiere, so you guys can watch it anytime that you want. Sonny King, hi, man. Awesome show today. Royal Family says hello. Tell everybody hi, man. Thanks for joining us. That was a great show. I appreciate it. Tamarius, how are you? Willie, what's up? He says, great show. Greg, I knew you were going to be excited, Greg, because next week, Lacey Ryan and Heather Monroe in match number 5 of their best of 7 series continues, and they are tied up right now 2-2. So Lacey Ryan, Heather Monroe, despite what Nico Marquez thinks, those two are going to lock it up in the best of 7 series. And you know Houston Body's going to have his special stipulation, just like all the rest. And if you remember the last one, it was Falls Count Anywhere, and it was absolutely crazy. That's where Houston got thrown in the garbage can, and then Nico got hit with a bottle. It was absolutely crazy. Elijah says, hello, guys. Good show. Love the teasing in the end. Thank you. Mr. E, incredible show. David, great show. Love seeing the rematches and their conclusions. Yeah, you know, that was important, man. We hated that it was so chaotic we didn't get those finishes. So I'm very, very happy that not only were we able to bring those rematches, but we were able to bring them the very next week. If you guys missed last week, you can go to full episodes presented by Pro Shingle, and you can check that out in full, absolutely free, right here on the YouTube channel. Greg enjoyed the show. Dreadhead said he loved it. Xavier said, I enjoyed the show a lot. Well, thank you guys, man. There's some new faces here in the chat. Just remember, we're here every single Saturday at high noon. And then also everything is archived in its special playlist, along with brand new videos that we post each and every day for you guys to take a look at. Even stuff from many, many years ago from the United Wrestling Network's vault. So very, very good stuff. Mr. E says, killed it again. Thank you. James says, love the show. Good stuff. You know, that just speaks a lot to the talent and the production team at the United Wrestling Network. Big shout out to John Roberts, who is our editor, and then also Nick Bonanno and just the whole crew. I know I'm going to leave somebody out. Logan, David Marquez, Aaron Stevens, who you guys know from NWA. He is in creative now, so a lot of this stuff, you're going to start seeing all sorts of twists and turns, even more so than what you already see. James says, love the show. Good stuff. Thank you, James. Good to see you here each and every Saturday. Keith, great show as usual. Appreciate it. Keith's another familiar name that I see each and every week. Dreadhead Kev as well. Now, you guys see, for those of you who are out of the market away from Memphis or the Mid-South, you will see highlights and pictures from a Superstar tribute with Bill Dundee. And those pictures will come from Dreadhead Kev. He's the 5-star photographer and the official photographer of Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle. Mr. E, any Anthony Idol upcoming? Love that cat. Man, I'm working on an Anthony Idol playlist that you'll see very, very soon. But I have not seen him on the card, but he is still with Championship Wrestling, so I'll imagine you'll see him very, very soon. Nico better not do anything to impede the decisive match. No, he probably wants to stay as far away from Killer Bay Heather Monroe as possible after what happened last week, because Killer Bay laid the smackdown on Nico for sure. Did you see what about Nico? Let's talk about the bandages on his head and face and how silly he looked. Come on, man. The dude's probably never been in a fight in his entire life unless David Marquez gave him a whooping or something. Let's see. Greg says, favorite match of all time, Falls Count Anywhere, Heather and Lacey. Yes, and I can only imagine what we're going to get next week from those two. Willie says, more Viperous. You know what? We heard you guys say that the last time Viperous was on, so we are happy to have Viperous back with Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle in a big victory. I didn't see it coming. You know, CC Chanel, a.k.a. Simone Cherie, has been, had some great matches and been victorious several times. The first time we saw Viperous, she actually lost to Lacey Ryan. So to see her back was very, very cool. So you'll see more of her. Keith says, I think Will Allday is a great wrestler. He deserves a title shot. Well, he had 2 weeks in a row where he had championship opportunities. And that first week, 3 weeks ago, he pinned Ray Rosas in the 6-man tag team main event. So you can go back and check those out. But yeah, the guy is definitely one of the top premier independent wrestlers, and we're happy to have him on the program. And like I say, he will be on our podcast coming up on Monday at noon. Greg says Jordan's back next week too. Yeah, now Jordan Clearwater, man, if you missed him on Primetime Live, picked up a big victory over Will Allday. He's turning some heads and training with Blake Bulletproof Troop, who is a true BA, if you know what I mean, in the mixed martial arts world. They're doing some training together. So the golden era starts next week. Jordan Clearwater returns to action. Let me get caught up here as you guys are giving me some good stuff. Viperous with hearts. I see that. How many cups of coffee have I had? I've had a whole pot, man. You know how I roll. Excellent. Of course, from Jonathan. Jonathan, I hope I see you tomorrow at a Superstar Tribute. I know you're very, very close to the Memphis area. Dynamite Kid, love the show all the way from Clearwater, Florida. I love Clearwater. Shout out to Clearwater, man. We're here every single week at the same time at noon. And if you've missed any of the episodes or if you're new to us, you can check them all out in the playlist. That's where they live. Xavier, Dustin, make a triple threat match for the Heritage Championship, and the Superstar in the match, Danny Limelight Rivera and Ray Rosas and Will Allday. Man, that would be definitely a good one. Keep your eyes on Danny Limelight, man. He's been in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. I'm sure we'll see him on Primetime Live. Actually, on Tuesday, he has a rematch against BHK on Primetime Live. That's on pay-per-view. You can check it out on Fight. By the way, the first episode was absolutely awesome. David Owens just came rolling into Memphis, Hampton Jimbo style. Had a flat, so I missed the show. Well, you're in luck. Sucks you had a flat, so that's bad luck. But you're in good luck because the show is archived, and you can go back and check that out. And I'll be seeing you tomorrow, I hope, at a Superstar Tribute at Growlers. Andy says, hey, how you doing today? I'm doing awesome. Anytime we can get up and watch professional wrestling here in Memphis and then talk about it, absolutely love it. Happy Saturday to everybody. Dreadhead can't wait for tomorrow. Mr. E says that Viperous is too cool. I think her entrance is very cool, too. How the lights go out. There's the red and kind of the vampire type of look. I thought it was very cool. Dreadhead says he's excited to see Kevin White. Never got to meet him in the past. So Kevin White was trained by Superstar Bill Dundee. He was my tag team partner. We won 2 Southern Tag Team Championships together. He'll be in the house. Derek King is going to be in the house, who is also trained by Superstar Bill Dundee. I also heard, and this is an exclusive here, we haven't advertised it or promoted it because he's not booked, but beautiful Bobby Eaton is supposed to be in the house from the Midnight Express, who is related by marriage to Superstar Bill Dundee. So he's supposed to be there as well. It'd be cool to see beautiful Bobby if he is indeed there, but also Kevin White, my old team, probably good to see him. Elijah said Aaron Stevens is on creative. Good stuff, Dustin. Very talented. Soon we get Aaron versus Will All Day. Now, I don't know if we'll see Aaron Stevens in the ring on Championship Wrestling, but he definitely has some pull backstage in the creative department. That is for sure. Big Metroid says Nico Marquez looked like a mummy. Man, I love it. It was so cool, man. Heather just beat him up. You know, put your hands on Houston Body, and that's what you get. Very, very cool stuff. Big Metroid, Nico Marquez look like a mummy. Dynamite Kid, yeah, more Viper. She's a superstar. Totally agree 100%. Jonathan Ray says Marquez looked like Eric Embry wearing electrical tape. I remember Eric Embry and Dr. Tom here in the Memphis area. Oh, man, those guys were so hated. Keith says Viperous equals female equivalent to Randy Orton. Wow, now that's some big praise right there for sure. Nico reminded me of Jake Roberts and Sandman, among others. Any other blinded wrestlers other than Ray? Oh my gosh. He was bandaged up like a mummy. It was a little ridiculous if he asked me, but it's like he's never been in a fight in his entire life. Be Free CBD. That's actually not pot. It's not marijuana. It's derived from the marijuana plant, but it's the good stuff. It's like a medicine. So if you guys want to learn more about it, it's BeFreeCBD.com. And then also they have their wellness center here in Memphis, Tennessee. It's 777 West Poplar Avenue. Check them out, man. It's very good stuff. I bought the CBN gummies that help you sleep. Oh, man, those were good. Elijah, Dustin, who are some of the wrestlers you want to get? I'd love to see you get Aiden English or Joe Hennig, Curtis Axel. Actually, Joe Hennig's a friend of mine back from our developmental days. My son and his son, they would play together for a little while. I don't know if Joe remembers that, but it's very, very possible. David Marquez sent out some messages this week reaching out about getting some of the talent. Who do you want to see on Primetime Live? And I know that Primetime Live is very similar to the product that we bring you. Actually, Danny Limelight and BHK that happened on our show today will happen Tuesday on Primetime Live. So the Friendship Farm, Thunder Rosa, all those, you see those on our program as well. Bo says, Jordan's so good, city named after him. Yeah, right. Jordan Clearwater. Very cool. Destiny, man, there is really something about watching Jordan Clearwater grow. We talked about this a long time ago, Destiny. He's got the height, he's got the size, he's got the ability. He has an unlimited potential, and now we're going to see him fulfill that potential. We'll see him in action next week. Dave says, great show, kept the storylines going with some rematches, but didn't push anything to the back burner, just enough to keep you interested without overkill. And speaking of that, what about Watts? Where the heck is Watts? And what about Miguel? Where did Miguel come from? They're friends of a long time. What does Watts owe Miguel, allegedly? So it was kind of a plea to bring back the former dominant Heritage champion Watts, who we haven't seen since he lost the title. And that's what Xavier's saying. What's going on with Watts? Man, I have no idea. If you go back a couple of weeks ago, I attempted to interview him on the Championship Wrestling podcast presented by Be Free CBD, and he hung up in my face. So we'll see if he returns next week, but that's the plan. Mystery says David Owens may have been Max Muscle and DDP that gave you a flat. Oh, I remember that. I never said 2 flat tires. That was good. Jonathan Ray says Watts was eaten by Miguel. How many of you think that Watts was really eaten by Miguel? Come on now. David Owens, shameless plug for the new Championship Wrestling United Wrestling Network fan group on Facebook. Yes, David, thank you so much. You opened up a fan page there, our fan group, so check that out. Woodland Goblin. That's an interesting name there, man. Good wrestling gimmick. Yeah, but now Nico might want to file a lawsuit against Heather Monroe. Well, he did say that he reached out for legal action, so that's in the works. But I find it hard to believe that if you step inside the squared circle and get beat up, that, I mean, what did you expect? That's what happens in the ring. But you can't really beat up the management team of Championship Wrestling. You know, that's always not a good thing. So we'll see how that plays out next week. But Nico's on the shelf. So, and if he didn't book the women's match today, then who did? That's interesting too. So more to come on that as that story develops. Elijah says he likes Vibra. She's good. She's a good wrestler. We get Gangrel to manage her. Oh, that would be good. Yeah, definitely reminds me of a Gangrel, Luna Vachon type of thing. John McDonald, excellent stuff from Championship Wrestling. I appreciate that. United Wrestling Network is on fire right now. Willie says, will Watts get his rematch? We would love for Watts to get his rematch, but he has to show up. He's just disappeared. Nobody's seen or heard from him. Andy says, I'm a big fan of the boss, Sasha Banks. Okay, that's on a whole different show. I'm a fan of hers too. Dreadhead says, when are you going to play Fortnite again? So I play on twitch.tv/Dustin Starr, but I haven't had a lot of time this week. Man, we have been doing all kinds of stuff. Some of the commercials that you see, of course, we produce those here, but Commerce Street Market's 5th birthday, ProShingle.com, of course, Pro Shingle Shampoo and Speedy Shingle Service. You guys will learn more about that coming up. There's a lot going on behind the scenes at Championship Wrestling. Dave and Buster's. We also have a wrestling trivia that is coming to Memphis, Tennessee to Sidecar Cafe. We'll have more on that for you next week. So it's just been extremely busy, and I haven't had a whole lot of time to play Fortnite. So maybe I'll get on there tonight. Nintendo Fan Guy, what's up? He says, nice suit, by the way. Thank you. I'm not even wearing any pants. I'm not going to show you, but I'm not wearing any pants, just the suit top. I'm kidding. But did you see David Marquez on Primetime Live? He had his chanclas on. He just had his suit with his sandals. Let's see. Jonathan says Watts was eaten by Miguel. He won't get a rematch because he will be too pooped out. Wah, wah, wah. Come on, Jonathan. Mystery says pot/CBD topic. Just wanted to plug them. I thought I was clever. I love it. Thank you. John McDonald, Jordan Clearwater's a star on the rise. I totally agree. Dynamite Kid, y'all need to put some pint-sized workers on the show one day. Let's book it. I'm here for it. Willie Bowen, Jordan Clearwater, future Championship Wrestling TV champion. Andy would be a good heritage champion. I agree with that. He's got a little ways to go. He's got to climb the ranks, but next week he's back in action. Maybe a quarter of Watts got eaten. He's a pretty tall order. You guys are too much. Who is Miguel? Who is he? I don't even know who he is. So we're going to find out hopefully next week. Mystery, is it true that Jordan Clearwater is a talented drummer? You know, I'm not sure about that, but I do know that Jordan Clearwater is training to compete in men's physique contests in the NPC, the National Physique Committee. And if you guys don't know, I am a 2-time Mr. Tennessee men's physique champion. So he and I have been kind of talking a little bit about that. Just reached out to him and let him know that if he needed any help, I'm here for him. But man, with his size, he's going to do really well in anything he does. And I would not be surprised if he did play the drums too. Watts versus Eli Drake looks like fire. So Watts versus Eli Drake is on Primetime Live on pay-per-view coming up on Tuesday. Hey, maybe we'll hear from Watts there. But as far as Championship Wrestling, and we haven't seen or heard from him. It'll be interesting to see. Tune in next week. We expect to have Watts back in the house. We'll see. Nintendo Fan Guy, hey, I saw a few matches in the channel. I was very impressed. Well, I appreciate that, Nintendo Fan Guy. There are going to be more matches coming this week. Also, some more shoot interviews, kind of behind-the-scenes stuff with David Marquez, and also more episodes of The Push. All that's behind-the-scenes action. Monkey Jeebus. I worked with Houston Body's husband, Jeremy, at Loot Crate. Very cool. I love Loot Crate, and I love Houston Body, too, by the way. Bruno is around here somewhere, Dreadhead. He's around here somewhere. I think Maria's working out in the garden, so he's probably looking out the window, wishing he was out there. Elijah, people better watch out for Will Allday. He is this version of Adam Cole and Shawn Michaels with the charisma and sexy boy vibe. He's very good, and dude can sell too. I would say that Will Allday is probably my favorite, if not my favorite. He is one of my top 5 favorite wrestlers going today. And I mean that not just because he's on our show. I booked Will Allday for Grind City Wrestling at FedEx Forum. It was incredible. We'll talk all about that on Monday at noon on the Championship Wrestling podcast presented by Be Free CBD. So it'll be good stuff, I promise. Willie, the lady wrestlers from Mission Pro Wrestling, will they ever make an appearance on Championship Wrestling? We'll see. I know that the women's division is being loaded up. I know the story looks as though that Nico Marquez and Championship Wrestling does not want a women's division. That's not true. Nico Marquez, despite his craziness, there are big plans for the women's division here at Championship Wrestling. So just stay tuned. Check it out. David says, I hope to visit Memphis one day. I want to visit Graceland and Sun Studio. Yes. And of course, Championship Wrestling has been a great window to the city, showing me what else it has to offer. And that's what we try to do. We are a syndicated show from Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, but we want to show you guys some of the history of Memphis wrestling. And on the other side of this pandemic, you're going to see this show completely flip. This show will be recorded in Memphis, Tennessee. It's going to happen. It's just at this point, the studios are shut down and we're not allowed to do it. And for good reason, because of the pandemic that's going on. Elijah, Jordan Clearwater can be a good Heritage champion. I agree. Derek says, I can't wait to see Clearwater next week. I think he's going to get the push that he needs. I like his new golden boot too. If you notice his ring attire on Tuesday's Primetime Live, he had a golden boot. I thought that was very, very nice touch. Dynamite Kid says, cool, holla at Dan Cowell. We work for Micro Wrestling All-Stars, and we work for MCW, the company who had the TV show with Hulk Hogan and True TV a few years back. My experience with the Micro Wrestlers has not been that good. I did have somebody booked at Fights at the Fiesta last year at Commerce Street Market, and he did no-show me. So lesson learned on that one. But yes, that would be cool. Nintendo Fan Guy, have you ever heard of Limitless Wrestling as an independent wrestling? They do have an official YouTube channel. I have never heard of that. Derek, how are you? Dreadhead, do you like tag match or single match? Just the stipulation if you had to pick one to watch. I would probably watch singles match, but that tag team match today was a banger, man. There was some innovative stuff that I've never seen before. 4 minutes of heat, tagging up to go against Clark Connors of the New Japan LA Dojo, and then also Dickie Mayer making his return. That was great, man. They had some really fantastic tag team matches. Derek says, good show this week. I appreciate it. Andy, I will love to watch AEW versus NWA. You're seeing a little bit of that on Dynamite and on AEW Dark. I'm a fan of that as well. Nintendo Fan Guy, I do support all wrestling promotions, and so do I. I love all wrestling, even WWE. Dustin, you should have a mystery opponent to wrestle against. Maybe The Miz. That would be awesome. I get a lot of comparisons, or I used to, about that. Dreadhead says, have you seen Can't Kill David Arquette? I have not seen it yet. I do plan to watch it, and I've been meaning to watch it. I just haven't. I heard it was really good. Mr. E, I said it months ago, Jordan reminds him of a young Brock Lesnar, mainly face-wise, created him among other Championship Wrestling stars. Yeah, you sent me that. So he has a whole list of Championship Wrestling stars that he has on his video game. I love it. Elijah, Dustin, what you watch as a kid growing up, meaning wrestling? USWA, Memphis Wrestling. I'm a Memphis Wrestling guy. I loved WCW. I loved WWF, but Memphis Wrestling. When I was little growing up and aspiring to be a professional wrestler and to be in this business, it was not necessarily to be at WCW or WWF. I wanted to be with Lance and Dave on Memphis Wrestling. And so for me to own and host Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingo is just a bucket list dream come true for myself. It's been so much fun. And talking to you guys is the highlight of it. Derek, I hope the Wolf Zaddies are still a team. Oh, of course they're a team. They were in action on Primetime Live on Tuesday. You're going to see them back here on Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingo. They are undefeated. So you'll see them again. Championship Wrestling has revitalized pro wrestling in Southern California. That's right. With the United Wrestling Network as well. Arizona, Memphis, you name it. Let's see. I'm going through you guys' messages. Got a couple of more minutes here. If you have any questions, man, hit me up here in the chat. I feel like a motor mouth. You guys are going so fast. I got to try to stay caught up. There's Bruno. Somebody, Dreadhead, asked about Bruno. Release the hounds. Let's see. Dreadhead says he's going to buy it this week. Yes, you should try it, man. United Wrestling Network Primetime Live every Tuesday. I believe it's a low price of $7.99 per episode. I purchased the entire month, so I got the entire month, and they gave me money back. So there's a special package on Fight TV. Destiny, maybe the CDC has listed liking Ray Rosas as a symbol of COVID. He isn't even trying, and he's growing on me. Oh, my gosh, you're killing me, Destiny. I can't believe it. Dustin, you do still owe him a big one for your Maria. Get him good for that. Yeah, you know, I've seen the tweets. I still don't like Ray Rosas. I'm sorry. And whenever I see him, I will give him a knuckle sandwich. Mr. E said, oh, and by the way, Destiny, you do have a package. I know I said that. You have a package coming. We're going to wait and send it out on Monday because we have something special that we want to put in there for you from the superstar himself. So thank you for purchasing the VIP ticket. The shirts look fantastic. The masks I have right here, they look awesome. Superstar tribute. You will love it. Very cool stuff. Mystery says, I want to see Dustin versus Cody. I want to see that too. You need to tweet Cody and tell him that. Bo, 4 minutes of heat will make for some great tag team champions one of these days. They're kind of on again, off again. They beat the Friendship Farm, and then they lost this week. They lost to Fidel and Pinks in their debut, so they're kind of back and forth. They kind of got to get on a roll and then get that tag team opportunity. But I agree with you. If they can get it all together, they will be, unstoppable. Can't wait to see your face when I give you the gift I got you tomorrow. Oh, Dread, you're bringing me the action figure. Yes, don't forget that. Don't forget my action figure. I think I have a Cody Rhodes action figure on the way from Dreadhead. Mystery says, Lance Russell rules forever. A little inside here, I talked to Shane Russell, Lance's dad. He congratulated us on the our little boy to be. He's on the way in November, but I talked to Shane Russell this week. Miss Lance Russell, man, he was great. It was awesome working with him and being his friend for several years before he passed away. Was at his funeral. It was very just touching and incredible, but what a great guy. Lance Russell was one of the good ones. Elijah, when Dustin said, release the hounds, the dogs got quiet. I think they're about to go crazy again as Maria comes in. Nintendo fan guy says, I always want to go to indie wrestling. You should. Why not? Please say hello to the lovely Maria and the family for us all. Oh, yeah. Hey, everybody says hello, Maria. Hello. She says hello. Got a big drive-by baby shower. Anybody ever heard of that? That's coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, tell everybody that's on there that sent a gift. Thank you.
Yes, and everybody that sent a gift. Oh, my gosh. Thank you, guys. It's
overwhelming.
It's definitely very overwhelming. So thank you, whoever sent gifts. And we've been sending out thank you cards like crazy. We were just blown away by that. Willie says, United Wrestling Network and NWA is the best wrestling on TV. I agree. Derek, is Zicky Dice still in the NWA? He is the NWA television champion. I would see him doing big things coming up very soon. Bo says, Ray may seem like he's paranoid about SoCal distancing, but he's really looking out for Dustin. That was the comment of the day. He better be on lookout. I have not forgotten. And I'm not going to forget. Keith says, in WCW Worldwide with Tony Schiavone. I love Tony Schiavone. Dreadhead has done a few shows with Lance. You've actually shot Lance several times. Dustin got paranoid too. What?
That didn't sound very nice.
Well, not shoot like that. I mean like shoot like camera shoot. Elijah, Dustin, I'm happy you guys brought Ricky Starks in Championship Wrestling. Dude is so good on the mic, and he's killing it in AEW. Oh, that was awesome seeing Ricky Starks. If you go to our feature match playlist, you'll see Ricky Starks versus Watts, which was a great match. You could check that out anytime on demand. David says, Dustin, by any chance, did you see the match between Peter Avalon and Brandon Cutler on Dynamite this past Wednesday? It was on Dark. I really felt for Leva Bates. She was so proud of the initiative. It hurts. Yeah, I did see it. And at first, I thought it was going to be a draw of some kind, and then it was. So I am a fan of Brandon Cutler and especially Peter Avalon. Two really good dudes. Mr. E, unlike you, Dustin, Cody always big leagues me. Does he? Cody was very cool in person. You got to imagine that Cody gets so many tweets from around the world, it's hard to keep up with. Mr. E, outlandish. Dreadhead says Maria stepped outside. I'll let her know you said that. She might roll her eyes at you, Dreadhead. Xavier says, do you like Will Hobbs? Yes, I said Will Hobbs, and congratulations when he signed his contract for AEW. It was very cool, man. And then him to tag team with Moxley coming up was really cool. But all right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here and get to work. There's some more work that I have to do on Championship Wrestling. We got the podcast coming up I have to prepare for. Andy says, I love Dr. Britt Baker. I'm a big fan of hers. I am too. I love Dr. Britt Baker. Did you know that she's a dentist, by the way? Just saying. Mystery, are Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee good these days? I watched WWE Lawler Stone Cold thing, was wondering. Yes, they are good. I mean, it's just one of those things. Those guys, they can't help but to love each other because they've feuded for so long and they made so much money together. And typically the guys that you feud with and you wrestle the most in the ring are some of your very best friends. So, but there is a competitive spirit with anything in wrestling. We do need to get some 5-star masks. I think the reason we haven't is because I was hoping that this wouldn't last this long, but guys, I'm afraid to tell you, I think it's going to last into most of, if not all of next year. Keep up the good work, Dustin and Maria. I appreciate it, Keith. Everybody, thank you guys so much. The YouTube channel is absolutely just blowing it out of the park, and it's because of you guys watching and you guys commenting and chatting and sharing. And then each and every Saturday at high noon on Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingo. It's just so much fun. And then on Monday at noon for the Championship Wrestling podcast presented by Be Free CBD. Man, you guys, thank you guys so much. Tomorrow is a superstar tribute. If you are near the Mid-South, Jonathan, you should totally purchase a ticket. There's only a handful left. And really the only reason there's a handful left is because we hit our goal, and then we released a couple of extra general admission tickets over the weekend. It's going to be socially distanced. We're going to take temperatures on the way in the door. Everybody will have to wear a mask. So it's kind of one of those things that if you're not comfortable wearing a mask, or if you can't wear a mask, then please wait until we have a normal event where you don't have to wear one. But it's going to be incredible here in Superstar on stage telling stories. And then Dreadhead Kev will be there to take pictures, and we'll have highlights that are coming up on the show. But next week's going to be another awesome show. And stay tuned, because I will let you know what's coming up next week on the show, in addition to Jordan Clearwater, in addition to Lacey Ryan versus Heather Monroe. That's the Dave and Buster's match of the week, and it's going to be spectacular. So I appreciate each and every one of you for coming in here, and hopefully I'll see you next week. If I don't see you tomorrow or on Monday for the podcast, be sure to hit like, do us a favor and subscribe. And if you do have any friends that are wrestling fans that do not know about us, just tell them to watch one episode. Just tell them to watch one episode, and if they don't like it, they never have to watch again. But just like you guys, I think they're really going to like it. So I appreciate you guys. Destiny says, love you guys, and love all of you in the chat. Take care. Have a really fun day tomorrow. Work hard, everyone. Play hard too. I can't wait to have a cold beverage in my hand, talking to the superstar tomorrow. But until then, everybody, I appreciate you, and so does my Maria. And so long, everybody. Oh, wait a second. Oh, yeah.